We had to have a public hearing last night for shoreline, so.
What did you? All right, 3:30, begin.
We're good whenever you're ready.
All right,
Okay,
call the meeting to order.
is there a chair for the Public Works Committee that does that?
No, not really.
Okay,
So,
Normally you would.
yes,
yeah,
okay.
well, let's go call the meeting to order and then I'll, I don't even have a question for you because it's pretty straightforward what we're gonna cover here today. Kind of walk through the steps, so, let's get started.
All right, well, the meeting has been called to order, so I'm gonna start with the STIP. This meeting was rescheduled. Originally, we were gonna have the meeting before the STIP went to council. So I don't know how much we want to or need to talk about the STIP. Do you want to talk about it at all?
Really, we don't.
I just had a couple of road questions
Yeah, okay.
on there. What do we got planned for street repair this year?
For street repairs, I can send you the information for exactly what pavement repairs are getting done. The Kimberly Horn survey that was done by Road Biotics. We're doing the most needed this year, and Anne from Rock Property Management is working on those. She's currently working on the bids for that. So I can send you the map and like let you know exactly what streets are being done.
As-
And Seal Crack as well.
Yes.
That's getting done, so I can get you that information, and then I can also at the next meeting. Present what it is that's being done,
Okay,
so that's
does
out
that, will
there.
that include the road striping?
Road striping is on here below, that's scheduled for September. Strike Right won the bid. And they, I think that it was $30,000 in the budget, and their bid was under 20,000. So that was.
Like a little slowdown in the economy, huh?
Mhm.
Some of our things coming under, some coming.
Yeah, hit or miss, roll the dice.
All right, and then I was curious, do we ever use any of that sparkle type, paint like on crosswalks or that kind of, that gets the glare of the lights? You know,
I don't know if we've ever used it in the city.
I don't know if you,
I asked John Wagner what we use for striping and painting, and he said it's a product that they get from Ace, and he didn't tell me the name of it but I need to find out and for the parking lot. It should have park, so I am going to get more information on that as well, so.
this would be more like, you know, sparkly type stuff they put on there, so when the lights hit it at night,
It's,
yeah, flashes up a little bit.
I
I
know,
was curious.
Is it an additive to paint or is it a specialty?
I don't know.
we're doing the HM, or we're doing thermoplastics for the crosswalk striping.
Will that have a glow to it? Or you got the, light?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did, so, we just have two of those coming?
There's gonna be four,
Four,
yeah,
each end?
outside and inside.
Yeah. That was my, well, that's my road question.
anything on the step for you?
No, I'm good.
Okay, all right. Then Hydrogen's Trail, maybe we have an update, because after today, we certainly do.
We do have an update on the Hydrants Trail. We had a construction meeting, pre-construction meeting this morning, which was really exciting. Looking forward, I can't wait to get another project that is actually in execution. That's my favorite part. And June 12th tentatively is our go date for mobilization for KF homes. Yeah, right, so exciting. So that we're looking for them to mobilize, and then week after actual construction start date. 70 days construction is what is allotted in the contract for them. So completion date would be mid to end of September, pending weather delays and 4th of July type week delays, things like that. So, yeah, we should be able to get on and use that trail in the September, very beginning of October at the latest, depending on weather.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
I'm planning to schedule a pre-construction meeting with residents and business owners along that as well. So I'm gonna meet with Scott and the mayor tomorrow to talk about when to have it, where to have it, that kind of thing. So that will be coming out. Looking forward to having that. meeting.
So the fencing that's going in around, got fencing on it? There gonna be gates on that at all?
There,
Just asking, because people walk from the hotels out to the beach on some of those little trails that go out there.
where there's access points now from the hotels, that's where the access points are
Okay.
on it. Yeah, they're that way on purpose so that it's gonna be Say there's a lot of access points.
And the city doesn't maintain that, but you probably know.
No, I know that, yeah, it's not their responsibility, but
Right.
people blaze their own trail.
They do.
The Parks Department has asked if they can kind of extend their memorial bench offer to the benches on the High Dunes Trail. So we're looking at doing that, which I think would be great. There's already benches slated to be in the turnout areas. So I'm gonna work with the engineer and contractor on doing that as the option.
Yeah, and I had a list of 4 people already.
Oh, nice.
Who've wanted this for, 2-3 years, who wanted to put their name on the benches.
Good.
For memorial benches, so I'll turn that over to you.
Perfect.
Point.
And working with cultural or coastal interpretive center for the signage also to go out there. At all of the turnout locations and entrances, and then there will be a big sign at the entrance at Damon Road as well, at the start of the trail.
It'll be like a wildlife educational type of something.
It'll be cool, there will be wildlife information, and then also, this is information about the wetland where you're standing, and this is information about the grasses that are right here next to where you're standing, so it'll be real local information about right where you're standing at the turnout specific area, along with QR codes that gives additional information that won't fit on the sign.
Cool. And did we, I can't remember, did we conclude June, was it June 16th that we're gonna do the groundbreaking ceremony? Was it,
We did set a date for
I
groundbreaking.
thought it was the 16th for the groundbreaking ceremony, but I think, oh,
Everybody bring a shovel.
Exactly.
Exactly, yeah, one grab some sand.
Big red ribbon. Yep, June 16th,
Okay.
tentatively 1 p.m.
Okay, great.
Friday.
Yep.
And then their crews will be working all that next week. After this, so. Any questions on that for us? Okay.
I can see it going.
I don't know, exciting, now let's get the money for the rest of it.
Capital facilities plan, we have, the 2 bids came in for the capital facilities plan, and then, I mean, as far as next steps go, I think the mayor and Scott and I need to meet and write up an agenda bill to present to council as far as I'm
That's
concerned.
all we need to do
That's
now.
the next step,
Yeah,
so-
so you know about that. 'cause
And we should be able to present to council on June 12th. I think we've missed the 5th deadline.
I think we have to.
Oh, there's one.
Yeah, no, that.
There's a
Yeah,
few on June 12th.
Next one, right?
Like 3 weeks in.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So June 12th.
Are you happy with the 2 bids?
Yes.
We were very happy with both bids were good. I thought the one that we went with was very good. It was actually very detailed, had exactly what we wanted. So I'm pleased. Frank, I think it's good.
Yeah, I think
so.
I think you picked the right company, that's all they do. That is their focus, business focus is doing that kind of stuff, so. Had a lot of good information and really interesting to see what we get back and what kind of a situation we're in. That's the only thing that kind of worries me, you know,
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of these buildings are 40-50 plus years.
and they've been set for a while, yeah.
Exactly, yeah, and this climate,
Mhm.
and made out of wood, so, right.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what it's for.
That is what it's for, exactly.
I think they'll-
I think it's great, we get on the schedule and
Budget.
we know when it needs to be painted, when the roofs need to be done and
Mhm.
those kinds of things, so we can preserve our investment.
Exactly, didn't help to prioritize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, for the dog park update, we received 1 bid for the dog park at Chinook Park, and it was double the budget, so that is going back out to bid tomorrow.
What bid was it for?
This was
For the full dog.
just for the full dog park, including like the rock and the gravel. And I believe our restrooms and playground came in right about where we expected them to, right?
Yeah, yes, I mean, and that part is already done for the equipment and the actual
Yeah.
bathrooms, but we put the dog park out to bid, and the expectation is that it's gonna come in under $50,000.
Including the fence?
That's, yeah, the
Okay.
fence, but we
We
were,
got a quote for the fence.
we do, but we were, and we have an estimate for the fence, but we were back and forth for the dog park, do we or don't we do gravel and hydro seed? Or do we do a kind of a manufactured wood chip, or do we let it go for a year and see what happens and take care of it with maintenance, see if we need to do anything, so we put it out to bid with. Gravel and hydro seed, and it came in at $109,000. Obviously well over bid, so we're putting it
Back
back
on now without that.
without those.
And we only got one bid for it, even though we reached out to 5 different vendors for it. So, we're gonna pull that part of it and put that to bid, and that's gonna tomorrow, right?
It's going, yeah, back out tomorrow, and then it's also being sent back out on Monday to Tuesday. To the original bidders, and the good thing about this, now. Too, is that. Without the hydro seed going in, we don't have to wait a month after it's put in to start using it, so essentially we'll get to use it sooner.
What's wrong with just using sand?
And there's probably sand underneath there now, I mean, I'm sure there's sand underneath there now, actually,
The rock is eventually gonna need to be reloaded.
it is gonna need to be
Slowly.
reloaded,
Yeah.
yeah.
What's wrong with using sand?
Gravel's drier anyway.
Yeah.
Well, true.
I think it-
Obviously, the way it came back was much higher than we anticipated.
Yes.
But we'll have an update for you at the next,
Yeah.
before that. So.
Yeah.
Cedar chips or wood chips,
Well,
something else you look at.
yeah, there's a manufactured cedar chip that won't hurt dogs' feet that we can use, and I had asked for a price back on that didn't come back before. We wanted to get bids out, so that's why we went with Porter Minus, and Porter Minus is that's the only gravel that's ADA compliant. So that's why we specifically went with that one to go with the gravel.
Accident, you get a wheelchair.
Yeah, because that was gonna be in the Sally ports and then the hydro seed on the inside.
Yep, I know.
I'm guessing they're not that slow. High prices when you're busy.
That's what I.
Sharpen your pencils when they're slow.
Mhm. We'll be able to get it done.
Yeah, you can save some money on some of that, so.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Everything else, I'm working on the new parking lot for the park as well, and trying to keep everything natural for the parking lot. I found what I feel are really cool, parking stops, and they're shaped like logs, so I'm excited for that. They're also compliant as they need to be, they're 6 inches high and 6 feet long. And sent them to the Parks Board, and they were happy and they liked those, so. We will pre-order those and working on an estimate for the parking lot. My plan is to have the parking lot put in shortly after or at the same time as the dog park as well, so that we've got additional parking for the dog park. Right around the same time that it's put in.
We need to find the bones for parkings.
Yeah, you know what we did find is bone leash holders.
Yeah.
So at the top, there's bone shapes, yeah. So we're gonna get those.
The skate park, who's PM in that? Are you doing that?
We are meeting with Kristen from the Parks Board
Fine.
next Wednesday, and we're gonna discuss the skate park. So, yeah, I don't have much information on that yet. I know that Sarah, I think, we're gonna discuss funding with Sarah as well, and so more to come on that.
I think it's great if you need volunteer help. Keep it down.
It's a place.
Yeah.
Okay, any questions?
Nope.
One update, for the playground equipment is that they started manufacturing and said it won't be here until November. And then I told them that I didn't think we can install it with our volunteers in November. And, we will be able to hold the equipment because the company won't hold it for us, but we can hold it at the collections yard. And we've got everything we need to move it there in the spring if that's what needs to happen. And install it then, and the playground company said that they will keep their cost for the installers and not raise it. And come in the spring if that's what we need to do. And then I told them if we have a good weather November, we'd be more than happy still to install it in November.
Sure.
So, but we may end up having to do the big grand opening of the park in spring.
It will probably attract more visitors.
Based on the playground equipment, yeah. So
Do
we're all
good,
used
do
to
a
it.
good inventory.
Yeah, it'll all be in one bay.
Now, I mean, the important thing really that real priority is getting the dog park as quick as possible, because that's the one
It is.
thing that everybody's just want and have wanted for a long time.
Long time.
Yep,
And we wanna have it open in the summer so that people can enjoy it this summer.
so then the last thing is road striping. We already kind of,
Yeah, we talked about that, we're on the schedule with Strike Right for September.
What's going on with the way that ditch?
you want to get the update on that? You want me to do it? I know we just met with Twin Star. Okay, so we have, I'll let you talk about how we framed everything out. and I'll talk about
Have we permitted
Or
everything?
how Ann is we're getting everything ready, but we're gonna add to that, correct?
Yes, oh, Ann is, I don't know about the permits, but Ann is working with the bid. She's writing the bids at this point in time. The first most important piece to get done is the culvert at Arrow Lumber that has failed. I mean, it's still working, the water's going through it, but that has to be repaired first. So, that work will be done first, but she's writing the bids, and I think those are gonna go out in August or September. And then what Scott was gonna talk about was, we met with Twin Star Bank and WASDOT and Vicki Raines, the commissioner with Grace Harbor County.
Okay.
And, the property just north of where the city-owned Oi Hut ditch, where we stop our ownership, Twin Star Bank owns the rest of that up to 115. And it needs to be cleared as well. So who's gonna take care of that? It needs to get done. So we talked to Twin Star about taking that over with permission with easements and getting in there. So I'm going to reach out next week about getting updated plans for that section and an estimate of cost for that section and what it would take so that we can get it done. And then I'll reach back out to Twin Star and say, this is what we need to do. And then we'll work with the attorney to get the easements and. Because
Okay, so you can take the house and I was just thinking maybe Twin Star could pay to take care of their own property.
We just started the conversation with them.
Yeah.
We haven't come to any conclusions in that regard. We do think if we put it out as part of our bid package, either way, it will come back cheaper.
It will.
Than having it done.
And maybe have
independently.
a portion of.
So that's all up for discussion, how that gets handled. It's just without that being done, it defeats a lot of the purpose of the whole project. So we just have to find a way.
Yeah. Because otherwise they're reinventing the wheel and starting from scratch. It'll be more costly.
What we took was letting Mickey Rains down and showed just what a difference it makes where we've done that work, how deep that trench now is and how quickly the water kind of moves through it. It's to still have sort of stagnant, flat, and much higher it is up there. So it is a key portion to get done in order to move that water, and that water was higher than I've seen it in some time up there. And that's without a lot of rain. So part of it is, and I'm not going to discuss this, that WASDOT still wants to replace, not replace the culvert that crosses 115, but they want to do what it.
They're talking about possibly doing a slip line inside of the culvert that's there, and it would make the culvert a little bit smaller, but it would negate the need to tear up the road. So.
That's a problem.
That's the big problem, we're trapped.
Yeah, the engineers were looking at it, and what the WASDOT thinks that it would work, being just a little bit smaller. If they do have to replace it and put a new one in, they think that they can do one lane at a time of the culvert, and that way they'd be able to keep the road open. So
What
that,
size is the culvert under the road?
gosh, I think it's not that big.
It's not, and I can't remember what they said, is it 48 or 36, I.
It might even be smaller than that. It's not.
Yeah, it looks similar to that to me. I walked around there. We're having some water
Yeah.
headed towards the way that.
Yeah.
And we got slice them that like beavers have built things.
They
and
don't
they're
think
back
that
there.
having a smaller line will impact the flow.
The engineers have looked at it and they're still looking at it. That's why they haven't made the determination yet.
Okay.
Yeah, and then as far as what we're doing for our portion of the ditch, we're doing the rest of our portion of the ditch through where it stops at
Was it J.K. Lewis or is it where it stops at, back before
before the
the.
gas station.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and then the maintenance of the areas that we did last year isn't needed until next year, so the rest of the ditch this year will be sketched out, and then maintenance will be phase 3 that will start next year. So phase 2 this year will be finishing all of the cutout, and then phase 3 will start maintenance for the rest.
I got a question about Doolittle. He's got culverts over there he wants to use.
Yeah.
So how's that gonna fit into the Arrow lumber deal?
His property where he wants to do his culverts stops before the Clovis building culvert.
Okay. So there's gonna be a gap there?
Yeah, there has to be a gap, to my understanding, before the Clovis culvert, which is before the
Mhm.
Arrow culvert. And Fish and Wildlife had told Mike that he had to update his plans. And Mike has gone back and updated his plans, and we have the new set. I'm just waiting to hear that Fish and Wildlife has approved the new plans, and then I'm gonna send them to an engineer to look at and say, you know, yay or nay, make these updates, and then
And then who's he hiring to do that with?
I know Dean's Excavation is working with him.
Yeah, I don't know. if
That's who's gonna sit like
That's who's gonna hire, or, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, that'll open up a nice parking area.
Well, that's, yeah, what he, that's obviously, yeah, so he does what he wants, and he wants to be able to get equipment back and forth across that.
Yeah.
Anything else? Yep. You told me this was gonna be a quick one today.
Yep.
All right. So, with that, we'll conclude our meeting.
All right, the meeting adjourned.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you.